What's going on, guys? DJ Av here, and today we are going to be talking about a VST I should have talked about a while ago and did a review on, but I've done many other videos on it. I have done an overview and all that. So we're talking about Electra 2, which is a multi-layered VST that does a lot of things. A lot of things. We're going to talk about a lot of things here. So in particular, let's talk about the interface itself before we go through all the VSTs. So the first thing you'll notice that you'll see a synth 1, synth 2, synth 3, synth 4. These are layers. And in each one of these layers can control 3 oscillators that you have right here, which has different types of waveforms, and such as wavetable, ultrasaw, noise, fractal, sample, which you can pull up a sample in there as long as it's not OGG, I believe, format. But it can pull up different waveforms where you can customize and resize and loop within in this, which is cool because resynthesis is becoming a key part of sound design in general as it is. So what other things can you do? You have in each individual layer, mind you that you can do this per layer, is that you have filters section, which you can use different at every layer, as well as everything else except the mod matrix, this area right here, and the master effects, which is understandable because those are like the mastering areas to your overall sound design, and of course the mapping of which the mod matrix goes all the way up to the 10 different modulations that you can set. So speaking of the modulations, Tone2 does another yet again at the time. It was way ahead of its time in terms of 3 different LFOs, and you get to choose from a huge amount. Now, for the time being then, it was pretty darn cool. The only thing that's changed about LFOs is the fact now is in other VSTs that you can draw them out. So that's the only thing there. But again, you have a lot of control with that, as you can control the speed as well as the start position and the frequency rate that it rolls. And then you have a step sequencer as well, which is kind of different the way it works, because you would have to use it with the mod matrix, in which you would just have it as a source of be as it may, and do it to wherever area that you think, well, any parameter knob that you think it would fit best. The envelope section, again, is kind of an old school, but you do have a visual cue here versus, just not being able to see it at all. And you perhaps just have to have some know-how of what these is, the ADSR, which would be attack, decay, sustain, and release. Don't mind my brain fried as my dog looks at me. He's like, you know this stuff by now. One of the key things that I thought about this VST being very good at the time, as well as, man, I wish it could be more, was the fact that the arpeggiation section, and on the good side of it, can be controlled per layer, which, unlike Dune 2, you could not do that. But, unlike Dune 2, it could not pull up MIDI within that, which I'm over that because of some of the features that are within the arpeggiator itself, as far as pitch bending your 1 to 12 notes. As you know, there are 12 keys in an octave, so duly noted, you might have learned something new there, and you're able to bend them, but you're also able to go up to 24, but that represents just the jump up from different octaves, because 12 plus 12 is 24. So with that being said, you could do things that are very off-putting, like swinging, and chord progression, as well as other things that are cool, as their settings like up, down, up to, and all the other things that make for arpeggiation to be very interesting. So what are the key things, as I play this silly preset, which is actually cool. So what are the key things about this that really make this stunning? Well, that brings us to the filter section. The filter section, yet again, Tone2 has a thing about the uniqueness of their sound. A lot of VSTs do sound alike, and unfortunately, that is kind of the sad thing, but at the same time, there are elite VSTs that do so a great job of having their own sound, and that is what Electra 2 does. And as I have the comb filter up, they have a whole bunch of filters that you can pick from. That's what makes me very excited about Icarus, because it ups the ante on filters. But more or less, let's talk about some of the filters you can go through. That's how it sounds like with the comb filter plus on there. Now let's go ahead and add the fractal. Now let's turn off the saturation that you could do within the filter, and let's add some fuzz. Let's add crush. Let's add shaper. Slight subtle, but that's in the fractal, so maybe I should pick up something like high pass or even comb. But yeah, you can but anyways, if the filters are good, as I look like a jackass. So presets, I know everybody wants to hear the presets, but obviously, you know, this has been out for quite a while. Everybody knows that this is like the go-to for a lot of big producers in the game right now, especially if you like trap, like TM88, 808 Mafia in general, and many others like Mike Will, and you know, should be in other genres as well. One thing I would like to say about this VST that I really do enjoy is the presets themselves, as they are made by some pretty good sound designers, be as it may. Plugin Guru right now, I'm so jealous of you for having Tone2 Icarus, but he has contributed many things as well. As you know, as you can see their names and stuff like that, as they have worked with other VST companies. These guys really know what they're doing when it comes to VSTs, when they make their presets. A lot of people find it to be that, you know, as I go and I stop talking, as you can see, it does have the growl and the moderate sound. It's very capable of doing much like any other VST that's on the market that is the go-to for that. Now, there are some things. Let me make sure. So if I was to rate this, I mean, it is a classic plugin, and I think I might have talked about it enough. I mean, this is not an overview or anything like that. I wanted to show you kind of how this works in a nutshell. So how would I rate this as I clap my hands? Man, I'm an idiot. But Birdman, show yourself, sir. Come and put some respect on this VST. Now, to be quite honest, a lot of the things going on for this VST that could change. However, for the time it was at that time, it was definitely a 4 out of 5, and it still is. And there are things that could be overlooked. The only other issue that I might have had in the past is the fact that how it's being installed, but you can look at, obviously, in the manual to see how it's supposed to be installed, but all you have to do is drag and drop your key file within your VST wherever you have installed this, and it'll start working. Also, you have to rename it to Electra 2, the TK2 file, the Electra 2, I believe. Yeah, but other than that, you know, this VST has been nothing but good. There's a lot of things I have not explored because I have so many other VSTs that I have to use and VSTs that I want to use. But anyways, yes, that's definitely my score. So if you like this video, give it a like. If you have any comments, please leave a comment. Tell me if you like it or not, how you feel about it. Is it one of your go-to VSTs? You know, is it better than this? How does it sound to you? what could it be improved about it, because I definitely think Tone2 would appreciate feedback, positive feedback, maybe constructive feedback for that matter. And that's my input for it. I do feel that, the LFO section is great, but in future VSTs, they're going to have to go into certain things as far as MSEG, which is multi-segment envelope graphics, and that being implied as well into the LFO section as well would make a lot of their stuff better than it already is. But yeah, I'm DJ Av. Have a nice day. Thank you. Don't forget to subscribe. I'm out.